Welcome to Bush Roses. We are down in the greenhouse. Hashtag in the greenhouse here at Bush Roses, and I'm Georgia Edgington, in-house designer with Bush. I get to play with flowers all day, as many of you do in your shops as well, and I'm sure you would agree with me that playing with flowers is one of the best things that we can do. I love it. So we're gonna have a little fun today. Part of our goal here with this video is to show you some new product that we have at Bush, specifically a couple new gerbs. So we're going to be focusing on that, but I also want to introduce you or play with a little bit for you today, not introduce because you already know these greens. Introduce or play with some pretty Christmas greens, holiday greens, in some green tones and in some sagey tones, because as you may know, sage greens are starting to trend for the holidays, and they're going to be going right through into 2018, and I believe trending into next holiday as well, 2018 Christmas or winter holidays as well. So we're going to bring some of those into our bouquet as well today. So let's get a little bit, to start with a lily, some beautiful white statice, and then I'm going to bring a little dimension or height in using one of the Bush Rose snapdragons, which you know are absolutely beautiful, stunning, strong, lots of blooms on them, and they're just a very hardy snapdragon compared to sometimes what we get into our stores. One of my favorite eucalyptus to use is baby, but I also love bonsai and I love seeded. You know what, I don't know why I said one of my favorites, because they actually all really are my favorites. But I'm going to bring him in opposite of the snapdragon, bringing a little bit of height into this. And the cool thing about whites and greens is that there are so many different tones and shades to whites and greens. So that's one of the cool things about putting together a bouquet of just white and green. It's not that boring. Actually, some people may think, and I'm going to prove that to you today. I'm going to bring in a little hydrangea, but I'm going to break up the white with green. So something that's key is to use different shades and tones in your bouquet when you're doing a monotone look. So I'm going to bring in a little bit more pine here to break it up, and pull out my cutter. I'm just going to kind of cut this guy and let him go on the floor. There we go. Actually, no, I'm going to hang on to him because I can balance my hand pretty good. And there we go. A little bit more pine into our bouquet. Okay, and then I get a little white statice happening here. I love how with the white statice, you've also got some green that shows up beautifully. Spectacular green coming out of the statice. And then let's bring in a little bit of white Himalayan astro grown right here in Plymouth at our Bush facilities. You can also give Bianca, don't forget Bianca is our other white astro that we have that we grow. I'm going to kind of cluster him right next to this hydrangea over here, and look at how, okay, so you can see already how these greens are really coming together beautifully. And then this is one of my new favorites, acacia fern. Love this sagey green. Just an absolute gorgeous green that has the sage in it, the grays in it, a little bit of silver. So again, because those colors are trending in our greens right now, this is a fun look for you to have in your arrangements and in your bouquets. Now we have a mini gerb that I want to introduce to you if you haven't met him already. This is Prismo. And Prismo, or you can say Prismo, I'm not sure which way it's pronounced, but Prismo. So you just ask for him from your sales director, and he's going to be a perfect little guy to put into your bouquets and your arrangements. We're going to grab a couple more Prismo or Prismo, however we want to say it, and tuck him into our bouquet. Just look how fun he is. And then I don't want to forget Kermit. We've talked about Kermit because he is such a fun little guy, but I love him. Look at the beautiful colors. He's very different than Prismo. And mixing these two gerbs together in a bouquet, it's going to really create some interest to your bouquet. And that's okay. Mix lots of different flowers in your bouquet. It creates a lot of fun. Then we're going to bring in some lovely Lydia spray roses right here from Bush Roses. Again, remember, whites are various different texture or various different tones, colors and tones in your whites. That's really what you want to bring dimension and to bring fun to your bouquet. You don't want it all the same stark color, because then it looks pretty boring and it's hard to just break up and have fun in that bouquet. So we're going to bring in, they're kind of an off-white or a cream, but they're going to be perfect in this bouquet. I'm going to get another Prismo in here. Bring him right down into the center. I want him to kind of shine right up there. There you go. And a little bit more of baby eucalyptus coming out right in there. Oh, just see, look how fun it is. All those different green tones and colors coming together. This is just something that you can have ready to go in your store for your guests that want, maybe they don't want to go traditional, red, white, and green, or red, white, and silver. They want to have some fun with something a little different. So you've got lots of Christmas happening in this bouquet with using your Christmas greens, but you're really keeping kind of a general white tone. And whites, they're beautiful at Christmas time, very clean and healthy. Something that I love to use, another one of my favorite greens in my bouquet work, is oregano, okay? I want to say oregano, good golly. That's a fun cooking spice, but that's a whole nother show that we could do sometime in my kitchen maybe. Now we're gonna pop in a little bit more of the acacia fern, and I thought I had a little bit more, yep I do, a little bit more argonia. I love how this variegated argonia is just perfect to pop in with these greens, and it just really wraps everything together. And don't be afraid to mix your sagey, silvery greens along with a green. That's okay. Mix the two. They add interest, they give beauty to the bouquet. Then let's bring in a couple of these needle palms. And I want you to keep in mind that everything I'm using in these bouquets today, you can get right here at Lenbush Roses through your sales representative. So make sure you're giving them a call to see anything that you're really liking. I love needle cushions. I'm not a huge cushion person, but they've definitely got their place. And if I'm going to use one at Christmas time or during the holidays, during the winter months, needle is one that I'm actually going to go to. I really find it has a great place with some beautiful bouquet work. What do you think? I'm loving this, but you know what? I want to add just a couple more things real quickly. I'm going to add a couple of our French cream roses. And again, he's a little bit off color. He's not a stark white. He's an off-white in my book. But look how gorgeous he is. And he helps to break up some of that dark green or the dark whites that are happening in our bouquet. I'm going to bring in a little bit more pine next to him. Oh. And I've got a small hand, and this is getting pretty big, but in this case, I'm going to say bigger is better right now because this is beautiful. I have to send this home with somebody today because this would just be gorgeous on someone's table today. Just lovely. Okay. And just low. So look at how we have taken some gorgeous colors, white and green and a little bit of sage, and put them together in one look and made a beautiful bouquet, showcasing and introducing to you a couple of our gerbs that are new. So Prismo, however we want to say that guy, Kermit, and just a whole host of other beautiful Lenbush Rose products right here. And I showed you today how I'm taking various different greens, variegated, solid greens, sagey greens, and mixing them in, and for the focal interest that it really gives your bouquet and dimension that it's going to put in your vase on a table in your home or in your customer's home. It's going to be absolutely perfect. Keep in mind when your customers come in, they want all kinds of different looks, and this is definitely a holiday look that you can give them.